Hi everyone, do you want to take control of your camera and you want to finally understand what all those settings really do? Well, in this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exposure triangle. That means shutter speed, aperture and ISO in a way that actually makes sense. Well, let's get straight into it. So understanding exposure is the key to getting great photos, and at the heart of it is something called the exposure triangle. Now this triangle is made up of three camera settings: shutter speed, aperture and ISO. Now together they control how light or dark your image turns out. So when you need to adjust one of these settings, you also need to generally adjust one of the others to maintain proper exposure, and that's why it's called the exposure triangle. They're all connected. Let's break it down with a few real-world examples. First, imagine you're taking a portrait. So the camera suggests an ISO of 200, aperture of f8 and a shutter speed of 1/250, but you want that creamy blurred background, so you decide to open the aperture to f4. That's 2 stops brighter. So the image will now be too bright. So to fix that, you need to increase the shutter speed to 1/1000, which darkens it by 2 stops and then brings the exposure back to perfect. Let's say you're shooting a landscape and you want everything in focus front to back. The camera recommends f4 at 1/100 with an ISO of 200. You know that f11 is going to give you a much more depth of field, so changing to f11 makes the image 2 stops darker. So you now have a choice. You can either raise the ISO to 800 or lower the shutter speed to 1/25. But unfortunately you don't have a tripod, so raising the ISO might be a better option. But if you can stabilize your camera on something solid, you can safely use the slower shutter speed and keep the ISO low for better image quality. Let's talk about waterfalls or ocean scenes, shots where you want that smooth, silky water effect. That means using a slow shutter speed, perhaps 1 second. But what if it's a bright day? Let's say the camera meters the scene at ISO 400, f11 and 1/250. Well, you want to set the shutter speed to 1 second. Now the image is way too bright, in fact 8 stops overexposed. So you decide to lower the ISO to 100, which takes away 2 stops. And that still leaves you 6 stops too bright. You want to keep the same aperture, so you reach for a neutral density filter or an ND filter. An ND4 filter cuts 2 stops of light, but unfortunately it's still too bright. So you decide to try an ND8, which is even darker. So that means you can adjust the shutter to 4 seconds to get the effect you want. But you forgot your tripod, so you decide to balance your camera on a rock, but unfortunately there's still some shake. So you decide to slightly underexpose the image and then fix it later in editing to allow that certain shutter speed. And that's the kind of decision making that you need to do, and the exposure triangle is going to help you with. So whether you're adjusting for motion blur, background blur or sharpness front to back, it all comes down to balancing shutter speed, aperture and ISO together. And when you hit the limits of those settings, tools like ND filters can step in to help. So now that you've seen a few examples, you've got a much better idea of how these settings work together and how to get the most out of your camera in different shooting situations. Well, I hope that's cleared things up, so make sure you hit the subscribe button for more practical photography tips. Take care guys, and I shall see you soon on another photography video.